Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. This is Market Today. I'm Sakshi Batra and with me is Shail Bhatnagar. Well, markets took a break yesterday after that continuous run-up, but not before hitting the all-time highs even on the intraday basis yesterday. The Nifty surged above 24,200 for the very first time in the morning session, but could not sustain at those higher levels. We actually saw the Nifty slip into the red and close flat with a negative bias as of yesterday, albeit above that 24,100 mark. The Nifty Bank also slipped in trade yesterday after that very choppy trading session. About a 400 points of a loss is what we saw on that one. But it will be the weekly expiry of the Nifty Bank, so it will be all important to see how that one really performs today. And also, the biggest weighted constituent within the banking space, HDFC Bank, will be in key focus as MSCI is likely to raise the weight in HDFC Bank in its August review. And the ADR shares of HDFC Bank have already reacted positively, about 4.5% overnight. Overall, seems like the Sensex and the Nifty are again likely to start today's trading session on an upbeat note, tracking all the gains across global markets. Good morning to all our viewers and good morning, Shail.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are on Wednesday, right in the middle of the week. It's the 3rd of July, and a lot of interesting data is up there for your consideration as far as markets are concerned. Yes, a mild bout of profit booking on the Nifty as of Tuesday, 24,123 for you. Remember, the intraday high for the Nifty was somewhere like 24,240. From there was a slip because you were seeing profit booking chiefly in banks apart from HDFC Bank, but that's how the cookie was yesterday. And of course, today is the weekly expiry of the Bank Nifty, which in turn has slipped 1% over the last 5 trading sessions. 52,170 for you, 406 points lower in trade yesterday. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let us present for you possibly the star of the day, which will be HDFC Bank. Yesterday, the bank informed exchanges about its shareholding pattern. This is a normal process that every organization which is listed on exchanges informs in the first 5, 7, 10 days of a new quarter about the changes in shareholding that have happened in the past 3 months. In that, the foreign institutional investment in HDFC Bank has slipped to 55.5%. There are historical reasons why it is a very important figure, because the government now allows 74% FDI and FII holding in private sector banks. So from 70, so the maximum possible is 74, and at the moment it's 55.5%. It slipped from the previous quarterly update, and this gives a headroom for FIIs to increase their stake. Because MSCI works, the global index works on a free float basis, it also means that the MSCI index in its August review is likely to increase the weightage of HDFC Bank by a few percentage points, and that increase is likely to result in an inflow of about $3 billion into HDFC Bank. As Sakshi has pointed out, the HDFC Bank ADR has shot up 4%, which is about $2.97. It's right there in front of you. And more important, ladies and gentlemen, HDFC Bank has been a rank underperformer because of consistent FII selling over the last 2-3 years. And it is ironic that the moment FIIs have started selling, the weightage in which FIIs have to buy the fund, the stock, has now been increased. So it is an irony that HDFC Bank will now see an uptick as far as prices are concerned. Over a 1-year period compared with the Nifty, which has risen about 23%, HDFC Bank is actually flat. So there is a lot of catch up for the bank to do. It is the heaviest weighted counter in the Nifty as also the Bank Nifty. So keep an eye out on HDFC Bank. Remember that when such large stocks move, and they move because of a tailwind, they take out previous highs, which is a no-brainer, and then move substantially further. Today is also the weekly expiry of the Bank Nifty, in which HDFC Bank has more than a 33% weightage. So there will be a gap up, just as the GIFT Nifty is suggesting, and from that gap up, let us see if the index moves above 52,500, then you'll see a very sharp bout of profit short covering happening, and then the HDFC Bank and Bank Nifty just might move higher. Looking at options data, 24,500 is something which the Nifty will aim at, mainly because of HDFC Bank. So keep that in view as far as the markets are concerned. A fresh tailwind coming into the heaviest weighted stock, both for the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. So that's as far as the market commentary on these two indices are concerned. Apart from that, Sakshi will tell you that the Nasdaq has hit a record high. It's above 18,000. Therefore, IT stocks, which have been the cornerstone of the rally on the Nifty so far over the last 2 or 3 trading sessions, will again remain in focus. The S&P 500, which is the world's most tracked index from the US, is up above 5,500. Details will be given by Sakshi. Now, as far as individual stocks apart from HDFC Bank are concerned, I'll be watching the defense play, HAL, BEL and BEML, for a very simple reason that the government has come out, the Defense Ministry has come out with a list of 346 defense equipment which were earlier imported and will now be manufactured in India. Of these 346, HAL makes 94, BEL makes 71 and BEL makes 17. So keep an eye out on HAL, BEL, BEML, HDFC Bank, and one more stock, IEX. This is the power exchange where a lot of good data has come in from the monthly update which the company has submitted to the exchanges. This is what I am looking at, a blowout in the initial trades of HDFC Bank, Nifty as well as Bank Nifty, and once they reach certain levels, whether we'll see profit booking is emerging or fresh buying is coming in. That will be a call that will be taken in the first 30-40 minutes of trade. Ladies and gentlemen, this is from my side. Let's get Sakshi into the picture. She will give you reasons why the Nasdaq surged beyond 18,000 and why the S&P 500 closed above 5,500. Sakshi, what is Wall Street telling us? I believe they have a holiday on July 4th.
Yes, they have a holiday tomorrow. That's on Thursday, July 4th. Overnight, the U.S. markets ended with notable gains after Federal Chief Jerome Powell said he was encouraged by cooler inflation and also said that the latest data has signaled that the U.S. was getting back on disinflationary path. Powell, however, did add that the Fed will need further evidence before going ahead and cutting rates. But the statement was enough to prop the Nasdaq as well as the S&P 500 at record levels. So the Nasdaq jumped about 0.8% in trade to end at record levels. We also saw the S&P 500 shut shop above 5,500 mark for the very first time, above that threshold, and also this was buoyed by the Tesla shares that rallied almost 10%, and this is following the company reporting better than estimated deliveries for the second quarter as well. The Dow Jones also gained by about 0.4% in trade. Remember, tonight the US markets will now be focusing on the FOMC minutes right ahead of the trading holiday on July 4th. So we'll continue to keep an eye out on the kind of overnight cues that we continue to get. The US 10-year yield, the bond yields, they quoted at about 4.44%. Absolutely steady on the commodities front. Gold and Brent crude oil futures remain steady at $23.40 an ounce for gold and $86.5 per barrel for the Brent crude oil as well. Now, following this, we also saw that the markets in the Asia-Pacific region, they exhibited a strong and a positive trend on Wednesday morning. So the Nikkei was up by about 0.7% in the early morning trading session. The Kospi flattish with a positive bias, 1% higher for the Hang Seng, although it was the Shanghai that was just about 0.2% lower in trade. Again, the GIFT Nifty futures are quoting at around 24,300 odd levels, indicating a gap up start for the Indian markets again. Now, as far as the flows are concerned, while the DIs, they continued to pour in money in yesterday's stock markets, about 648 crore rupees they bought in the cash market. It was the FIIs that sold about 2,000 odd crore rupees in the cash market. However, in the derivative segment, FIIs have turned net sellers in the index futures after 17 trading sessions as well. So we'll continue to watch out for as to how the FII behavior towards Indian markets really continues from here. Of course, back home on the macro front, IMD has indicated that southwest monsoon has covered the entire entire country 6 days ahead of its normal date, thus boosting the prospects of the Kharif sowing. So we will continue to focus on the agri stocks. Apart from this, of course, HDFC Bank has been detailed by Shail already, so I will not repeat that. But HDFC Bank will be the first stock that we will be looking at in trade today. M&M Finance, the company has reported disbursements that's up 5% on a year-on-year basis at 12,730 odd crore rupees for the Q1 FY25 end, and business assets are up 4% sequentially at over 1.06 lakh crore rupees. We'll continue to keep an eye out here. From the banking space, even Yes Bank has come out with the loans and the advances update, which is up 14.8% year-on-year at 2.29 lakh crores. Deposits have jumped 20.8% on a year-on-year basis to 2.64 lakh crores at the end of Q1 FY25. The CASA ratio is steady but just a little lower at 30.7% versus 30.9% on a sequential basis. IEX, I'm keeping an eye out on. The company has reported the total volume that's jumped 21% year-on-year and also the real-time electricity market volume is up by about 26.8% on a year-on-year basis as well. So those are the positives coming in from the company. On the power space again, NTPC is going to be in focus. The company has reported the power generation that's up on a 9.5% basis on a year-on-year. And of course, the coal stations have recorded plant load factor at 79.5% at the end of Q1 FY25. Again, from the real estate space, we'll keep an eye out on Purvankara. The company has acquired a 7-acre land parcel in Bengaluru with a potential gross development value of 900 crores. KEC International. We'll keep an eye out here because the company received a new order worth 1,017 crores in the T&D and the renewables business as well. Avenue Supermarts is in focus. The company has reported a standalone revenue at which is up 18% year-on-year at 13,712 crores, and the total stores as of June 30th have stood at 371. We'll also keep an eye out on Zomato. The company's subsidiary Zomato Financial Services will actually withdraw the RBI application for now getting registered as an NBFC. Now the company does not want to pursue its lending or the credit business anymore. Healthcare Global, the company has approved the acquisition of a 196-bedded Vizag hospital. So we'll continue to keep an eye out on here. Apart from this, there's a lot of action going to be taking place in the primary space as well. So a new listing of Raj Iron and Steel, which is going to be listing today. The grey market premium is indicating a likely listing of about 20% We'll keep an eye out on the details a little bit later. Primary market update. There are two IPOs that are opening, Bansal Wires at the 745 odd crore rupees IPO and MQ Pharmaceuticals, the 1950 odd crore rupees IPO, which is going to be opening for subscription today. So we'll keep an eye out on both these companies as well. Shail.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Gaurang Shah, Senior Vice President for Geojit Financial Services is with us. नमस्कार गौरांग जी, शुभ प्रभात और स्वागत आपका मार्केट टुडे पर। ये बताइए, अब ये जो गैप अप होगा HDFC बैंक का, रिटेल इन्वेस्टर्स को चेस करना है या इंस्टीट्यूशनल इन्वेस्टर्स यहाँ पर आके बहुत सारी कॉल्स बेच देंगे?
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद शैल जी, आपका सभी को सादर प्रणाम और शुभ प्रभात हमारे तरफ से। तो अक्सर ऐसा होता है कि नवाब साहब से गाड़ी छूट जाती है और फिर नवाब साहब सोचते रहते हैं कि क्या हमने गलती की गाड़ी को छोड़ करके, और फिर नवाब साहब गाड़ी के पीछे दौड़ते रहते हैं, गाड़ी अपने आप आगे निकलते रहती है। तो आपको नवाब साहब बनने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है। उतावलापन शेयर बाजार में कभी भी नहीं करना चाहिए। यू शुड नॉट बी इन अ हरी इन स्टॉक मार्केट। इफ वन थिंग फॉर द लव ऑफ गॉड यू हैव टू बी इन हरी इज टू बुक प्रॉफिट्स when as and when you get your approximate or whatever profits you have kind of set in place. But for investing, markets will give you plenty of opportunities, and we witnessed this even in the past. Those who have patience have got rewarded by the markets, and for those who are in extremely hurry, market has punished them left, right and center. So I think it is better to be a patient investor rather than being a patient investor. So you will get opportunity, and you can possibly start at current levels. Don't go all out in case if you have elevated risk appetite. In terms of targets, like we've discussed earlier, 18,000 to 1800 to 2,000. First quarter earnings will possibly determine as to whether we take these targets at a much more higher level share. But remain positive, and of course we've discussed this talk about a fortnight back.
Yes, absolutely. This is something that Gaurang has repeatedly said, that HDFC Bank is a portfolio stock, and all pain and how should I say, all downtrends in HDFC Bank have to be purchased for the longer term. Those will pay off handsomely. And a little bit from my side, when such stocks move with strong tailwinds, you will obviously see a gap up today, and let's see whether that gap up continues or not. It will be at a record high. So when a fresh record high is struck on a very strong tailwind, it's the beginning of a new phase in a good blue chip stock. Gaurang, from now on, we see the quarterly earnings coming in from July 11th onwards. IT seems to be showing strength given the record highs on Nasdaq. How do you see overall sentiment on Dalal Street, and where are you advising your clients to put in fresh money?
Well, so Shail, I think 9th of July, that is next week, Tuesday, there'll be a curtain raiser for first quarter earnings by TCS, if I'm not mistaken. I stand to be corrected as far as the date is there. Yesterday I was looking at the earnings calendar, and 9th of July is what I remember for TCS. So that's going to be the curtain raiser, and then of course the rest will follow. For as far as your question is concerned, Shail, for us, I think it will be reinforcing our confidence, if I can put it that way, in terms of our commitment and view on the IT sector, because we've been positive for the last, more positive, we've been positive for a long time, but more positive over the last 2 years, since the time a lot of participants in the market were advising to stay away. And our view is that from second quarter onwards this financial year, you will see the improvement in the run rate as far as earnings is concerned, scaling to a much more higher level, which will of course call in re-rating. But the entire sector was in limelight yesterday, I believe last week. Uh, we remain extremely optimistic about the IT sector, be it large cap or mid cap IT names. Our sense is that good times are going to possibly stay here for a longer period for the IT sector after the dark clouds that we've seen in terms of budgetary cuts, discretionary spends, etc., etc. So we remain optimistic on the IT sector.
Good morning to you, Gaurang sir, and I wanted to first off discuss with you on the reports that are coming in the power space, particularly both on PFC and REC. Now we've discussed this space many times, but despite such a huge run up, brokerage houses are now initiating coverages, and they're saying you love them, you hate such stocks, but you cannot ignore such stocks. How would you approach these two power financiers, PFC and REC, after that Bernstein report, and which has raised the target prices on both these power financiers now?
Thank you, Sakshi, and morning to you as well. So, just because you don't have those stocks in your portfolio doesn't mean you need to hate them. There are better days for you to see, in fact. And as I mentioned, these two companies, though these are no specific comments actually on PFC and REC, but let me give you a perspective. These are very integral part of the entire universe of power generation, power transmission, power distribution, power finance companies. I mean, I think about a couple of days back, there was a news item on IREDA, and the stock has rallied to a great extent. So these are the companies that facilitate new power generation capacities being set up in our country. And as we go forward from here on, we are going to need more and more power. The kind of need and the usage that is there is going to go up possibly every quarter, every year, and you need to set up more conventional as well as more of clean and green energy. So I'm extremely optimistic about these two names. Unfortunately, because of the SEBI regulation, I can't give out straight away buy, sell, and hold. But they look extremely promising. And of course, there is also this is also a new, there are some murmurs or some talk on the street that these two candidates will also be in the divestment list. Needs to be wait and watch, but no comments on that. But definitely strong companies in this sector.
Keep an eye out on both PFC and REC when the markets open. And, our viewers will be very disappointed, Gaurang, if I do not discuss defense with you. And just yesterday, before you joined in today, we've actually seen that the Defense Ministry has released a list of 346 odd defense equipments, which will be now made domestically, of which HAL, BEL and BEML hold a large chunk of those equipments as well. You've constantly come on our channel and told about the Panch Pandavs and how bullish you are on the long-term defense story. But again, the question comes to those viewers and investors who've actually not participated in the dream run thus far. For them, how are you looking at this new development, and does this further testify, your own belief of the long-term view that you have on defense?
So the belief only gets reinforced stronger and stronger, Sakshi. And if I am not mistaken, and I stand to be corrected, this is the fourth prohibited list in terms of imports which India or Bharat used to do, since we did not have the capabilities and capacities in place domestically. And there are going to be many more such lists that are going to be out, which will reduce the import burden that we have, point number one. Point number two, give opportunities to intellectual and intelligence that we have to come up and safeguard as far as domestic production of all these equipments are concerned. Third is regular, import bans will increase the opportunity for all those companies which are related to that particular equipment that we used to import. Fourth is that because of that order book, you will have execution positivities on the numbers. And since the numbers will look better because of order book execution, target price for all these companies are going to go upwards, north. And very recently, we heard about Cochin Shipyard and Mazgaon Dock and Garden Reach getting a couple of orders, not only domestically, but more importantly, Sakshi, these were all overseas orders. So you can just imagine and estimate the kind of opportunity that lies for the entire defense play, whether it is government owned or whether it is private. And, if you have, I would, without going into any specific names, Sakshi, these are the names that you should use in SIP mode. Don't go and put all your money thinking you lost an opportunity, because that might be not a wise way to approach. But staggered, systematic, phase by phase investment in these companies will open up opportunity in terms of cost averaging. In case of the market corrects and the stock comes down, you will get a benefit of lower averaging. And then a longer term investment will turn out to be extremely profitable.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, Mitesh Panchal has joined us, but let's take a detour into the markets. The pre-open is upon us. The first stock to be shown should be 29 rupees higher, HDFC Bank, 1760. Actually, this is a record high on the counter, and this is something to be rejoiced. Moving further up, 2% higher at 1766. Prices are really wacky. Let's not look at the Nifty and the Nifty Bank at current levels, but the main stock of the day, HDFC Bank, is doing really good. Infosys, slight downtick, 21 rupees higher, 1600. How about Reliance? Flat at 31.35, now 4 rupees higher. How about TCS? Okay, in the green, 3.6 rupees higher at 4021. HDFC Bank is getting stronger still, 39 rupees higher at 1770. Okay, now what else is moving? Let's look at the top gainers in the NSE 500. KEC International, order win, 5% higher, 950. How about a strong move in Bharat Forge, 5% higher, 1714. These are stocks that are adjusting to prices. Let's go to FNO, IEX. A very, very sharp business update, 21% rise in volume of electricity units traded in the past quarter. IEX up 2%, 189. How about REC? An upgrade, 1.6% higher, 548. Ladies and gentlemen, what we'll do is we'll let prices to settle down. The Nifty is now up 113 points. This is what was expected. And it's driven by HDFC Bank, 2.5% higher now, 1775. I believe Mitesh should be joining us. My first question to him will be only and only on HDFC Bank. Okay, Mitesh is with us. Good morning to you, Mitesh. Without any further dips into the market, tell me, does this gap up on HDFC Bank need to be chased, or is it a selling point? We'll wait for Mitesh to join us. 3 percentage point higher, 52 rupees 1783. Let's get Gaurang into the conversation. Gaurang, record high. What do we do on HDFC Bank?
Well, if you are a long-term investor, Shail, I don't think you need to kind of hurry to book out of it. In terms of short-term, medium-term traders, well, honestly speaking, I am in no position to advise them because I don't have a short to medium-term view, but I leave it to their wisdom and fine sense of judgment into deciding what they want to do. And remember one thing, Shell, wealth is created out of investing in value stocks. And when you have that opportunity, I think you should not be in a hurry to encash it. I mean, this is my advice to all investors, whether short term, medium term, or long term. My belief, Shell, is that all those concerns which were there some time back in terms of margins coming under pressure, some Gora had come out with a very intelligent report and had advised to stay away. There were lower targets set aside of somewhere close to about 1200 and 1300. If I'm not mistaken, decisively the stock did not break the level of 1400 HDFC Bank I'm talking about. And now we are seeing somewhere close to about 1800 level. So use your wisdom and intelligence. This is what I would say. Rest, I would leave it to the time horizon that each and every individual has, whether long term, short term, or medium term.
Okay. HDFC Bank, Sakshi, has also spurred rallies in stocks that were resting or showing signs of profit booking. Look at SBI, 1% higher, 835. Axis Bank in the green, 1255. ICICI Bank in the green, 8 rupees higher, 1199. So what will happen is that Nifty will open with a gap up. Now definitely above 52,500. If it stays above 52,500 for say 10, 15, 20 minutes, remember we also have the weekly expiry today, then you will see short covering coming in. But if 52,500 does not hold, then you will see a slide in the Bank Nifty. All of that is going to be very, very interesting. Sakshi, PFC up 2.4%, 515. So those research reports are actually doing a whole lot of good to both REC and PFC. What are you watching?
A whole host of stocks that are buzzing on the back of the updates that have been coming in. So Avenue Supermarts is up 1.5%. Let's also pull up Zomato to see how that one has reacted to the news. Of course, there is this new order win that for RVNL has come in. So that stock is up by about 1.5%. It's received an order worth 132 odd crore rupees from the Central Railways. Zomato is just flat at 2009 odd levels, albeit in the positive zone right yet. Okay, so Mitesh is actually with us now. Warm welcome to you, Mitesh ji, and good morning to you, and thank you so much for taking the time out. We are looking forward to hear your own comments on HDFC Bank right after we've actually seen at least record high levels in the pre-opening trade, and what needs to be done, because a big development has now happened and there is anticipation that about $4 billion or money could be pouring in the due course of time for HDFC Bank, and what would that do for all the shareholders and investors?
Good morning, Sakshi. Good morning, Shailji. Good morning to the panelists and all the viewers. Sakshi, happy to inform you that on Monday, that is on 1st of July 2024, we have released a special report on HDFC Bank, and I'm glad to share with you that we have shared that report with Shailji as well. The CMP was 1683.80, and System and Method has advocated 60% upside in the stock in the next 2 years. So we come out with a special report for a target of 2728.50. The report has been shared with Shailji, and we had a bit of a discussion about the same as well. So this is where with BTTV, our first experience and first report, I think it's a second report. First report we have shared is the special report on chemical and agrochemical space, where we have recommended three stocks: Balaji Amines, Privi Specialty, and Punjab Chemicals. And post the report, Punjab Chemical have already shoot up by 18% now, I think close to 8 or 9%. Second stock specific report is HDFC Bank report. I think, Sakshi, the marathon run in HDFC Bank will just start. So today's price action is for us not an important, it's just a start. So the big question is what after 4 or 5% of gap up opening, one should buy, one should not buy. Definitely you should buy. This is just the beginning of a marathon run. What we call in our technical terms is a trend reversal in the stocks. So after a consolidation, after a correction at all-time high levels, there are certain large cap stocks always in the market which qualifies in our system. And we used to prepare a report since last 20 years and flash it into the market, because nobody will believe you if you just quote a target. So yes, this is just a beginning. Now the question is what you should do after 4% of an opening. We are of the view that within the private bank, that's what we have discussed earlier as well. Kotak and HDFC is our preferred bank. Whenever the report will be issued with Kotak, will definitely be shared with BTTV as well. As far as HDFC Bank is concerned, you should have at least 3 to 4% of weightage of your portfolio in this large cap stock at an all-time high level when the index is trading at an all-time high level. Like the kind of run which we have seen in the entire PSU space, Sakshi, we will see the same run in HDFC Bank, but in a different form and a color. Here, the entire process of posting 30, 40, 50% gain, 60% gain over the next 2 years is slow and steady. So people will not understand, or probably will not realize, or probably will be a kind of a surprise to them. Looking at the rate of HDFC post 6 months at 2000, then 2200, then 2300, believe me, for the next 6 to 9 months and 1 year, we will keep discussing about HDFC Bank. So yes, after 4%, it's a buy. One should not look at today's price action as just kind of it's over for the stock. This is just a beginning. So the humble request is that you should have 3 to 4% of your portfolio weightage in HDFC Bank.
Okay. Well, viewers,
Sex is above
Yes.
80,000.
absolutely,
So,
Shail.
Gaurang, is it because of you or is it because of HDFC Bank?
No, no, no. Nothing is because of me. It is all because of the market and the great players like the HDFCs and the Reliances of the world. I am just a small part of this market share. मैं तो निमित्त मात्रा हूँ और ऐसा ही रहना चाहता हूँ. इतना बड़ा बोझ हमारे कंधों पर मत रखिएगा क्योंकि हम उसके काबिल नहीं हैं.
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है गौरांग जी. आपको हमेशा हम लोग इसलिए आमंत्रित करते हैं क्योंकि आपकी राय सटीक होती है, और हमेशा जब भी बाज़ार में परेशानी होती है या दिक्कतें पेश आती हैं तो आप जैसों की ही आवाज़ है जो बाज़ार की बुलंदी को दर्शाती है और उस डिप को परचेज करने की लोग हिम्मत करते हैं. 80,000 साक्षी सेंसेक्स और 52,872 बैंक निफ्टी. इसका एक बहुत ही बढ़िया आपको रूप आज बैंक निफ्टी पर दिखेगा. रिकॉर्ड हाई लगती हुई दिखेगी और बहुत ज़बरदस्त शॉर्ट कवरिंग आपको होती हुई दिखेगी निफ्टी बैंक पर. तैयारी कर लीजिए, बांध लीजिए कुर्सी की पेटी. साक्षी, योर्स.
Absolutely, a record high on Nifty and Sensex, and also hopefully on the Nifty Bank we will see in today's trading session. But Gaurang, on the FIIs, what would you want to say? They have largely remained out of this last leg of the rally and they have not been able to see that 80,000 in their own stride.
I'm always glad when they are out, Sakshi. I may sound useless. I may sound very arrogant, but so be it. I don't care. I believe in our own wisdom, Sakshi, and despite of the short build-up that they had just before the announcement of the election results, and we all know this. We are on what, 3rd of July, 4th of June. Nifty was below 21,900, Sakshi, and on 3rd of July we are at 24,300 or thereabouts. These speaks volume for our own capabilities and capacities and the confidence and the things that we can do, Sakshi. And surprisingly, Sakshi, even today there are people who ask me, is this for real? I mean, for the love of God, you don't need Gora's brains, gray cells to tell you what you can do. You are capable enough to understand and deliver what you can do. So I'm glad that they are out. If they come, fine. If they don't come, I'm okay with it.
Wow, that's a brilliant way to put it. Okay, HDFC Bank viewers, I think 11.13 lakh shares have seen some deals taking place. We will get to know more details of that. But large trade of a value of almost 199 odd crore rupees probably has taken place, and 1791 is what probably HDFC Bank will be looking at, opening 3.5% higher. That will be the stock to really watch out for, and both our guests have shared their views on this HDFC Bank as well. But let's get Miteshji into the conversation. Miteshji, at this sky high levels on the markets, are you feeling dizzy? Are you feeling the feeling of having booked out at least some profits before we actually go ahead and see some dips coming in? And what is it that you're advising your clients?
So actually, we are advising something very boring. When the market is at an all-time high or an all-time low, all you need to do is stick to the basics. And what the basics is telling us is that we are investing to make sure that our wealth will grow. So at a regular interval, please book profit as well as book loss if you think that the stock is not working. Second thing, at the top and at the bottom, nobody catches, nobody need to catch it. But when the market is running at the top or at the bottom, one need to really see to it that it is an opportunity to basically churn your portfolio. So we are looking very specifically at sector rotation and stocks rotation. At the top and at the bottom, the strategy and the focus should not be on the index at all, because that is not going to give you much of a return. But if you are focusing on the stocks and the sector, that is where the whole game is. So at the top, as of now, what we are focusing is on the sectors, on the specific stocks, and to ensure that wherever we have made good amount of money, we will at least book a part of it and sit on a sizable cash, because at the end of the day, the correction will come sooner than later. And at that point of time, if you have a cash in the balance sheet, that will probably generate much more alpha than participation. So sometimes not participating itself is a big call. So three strategies as of now. First, sector rotation, stock specific strategies. Second, probably book the profit in whenever you are, whenever you can. And secondly, sit on cash as much as you can, because market is not going to run in one direction at all. They have ups and downs. Market always give you sufficient opportunities and time to accumulate. So be please prepared and stick to your basics. Don't get carried away with any trend or any stock or any sector.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, a record high on Wednesday powered by HDFC Bank. Now, is this a point of profit booking or is this a point for aggressive purchasing? Only time will tell. Nifty Bank 52,500. Remember, this is the key level. If it remains above 52,500 for 10-15 minutes, you will see a very, very strong bout of short covering on T-Mine on its weekly expiry day. Nifty 95 points higher, 24,220. HDFC Bank taking it away, 52 rupees higher at 1783. How about the other banks? ICICI Bank in the red. Be very careful on the bank Nifty. 0.75% lower, 1180. How about Axis Bank? Flat. How about SBI? Flat. How about Kotak? 5 rupees higher, 1744. I'd be very careful on the long side as far as Nifty and Bank Nifty are concerned today. Okay. How about L&T? 13 rupees higher, 3641. Infosys 4 rupees lower, 1617. I'll be very, very cautious on the Nifty on the long side. How about Reliance? Reliance is at the moment at 1331, a rupee higher. Is this a point of distribution? Only time will tell, but be cautious on the long side. Let's look at the NSE 500. At the moment, let's look at stocks which are hitting intraday highs. 7% higher on KEC International, 963. New order wins. HDFC Bank, ladies and gentlemen, is now only up 2.3%, 1770. NLC India taking it away 2.7% higher, 262. The power financing twins, PFC and REC, exactly up 2.3% up. IEX 1.6% higher, very good business inflows, 188. Patanjali 1692, 1.7% higher. This is a research report that has come in, targeting above 2000 rupees as far as the target is concerned. A very quick look at the most active counters. HDFC Bank, already 1478 crores worth of shares have been traded. You have PFC as a new name, Garden Reach up 0.5%. What else is clicking? Zomato profit booking 0.5% lower. RVNL order inflow 2% higher, and of course a strong move coming into IEX 1.7% higher. Mitesh, very quickly, is this a point of purchase as far as Nifty HDFC Bank is concerned, or do we wait for 15 minutes? What would be your first step into the market now?
Undoubtedly. I mean, as I said, HDFC Bank again will surprise you, Sandy, going forward, and this is just the beginning. So, for a stock like HDFC Bank, we are not looking at an intraday kind of a thing or 1 or 2 days. This is the time where you should buy in. Before 6 months, nobody is going to buy because the stock is lower. Today, nobody is going to buy because the stock is higher. But these are the times, believe me, when the stock will make a breakout and then probably will hit a higher highs. And if you look at the history, Sandy, technically, whenever the stock hits an all-time high, very few people will participate in that rally at that point of time. And actually, those are the stocks which are going to make the history. So we are of the view that HDFC Bank, even at 2% or 3% or 4% higher as of now, as I said in my initial remarks, it's a 2 to 4% kind of a weightage which you should have in your portfolio. And as you have rightly said, one need to be extremely cautious about the index, and as what we are advocating, sticking to the basics, which means that the time has come to focus on the sector rotation, on the stock rotation, booking the profit, sit on the cash. These are the strategies which one should adopt. So specifically about HDFC Bank, yes, would like to buy at the current level, at the if at all available at a lower level, and even if it is available at a higher level, definitely a buy on HDFC Bank.
Definitely a buy on HDFC Bank. Let's also look at Nifty Bank. It is still above 52,500 odd levels, and that's buoyed by HDFC Bank and the entire financial services private bank space. Those are the spaces that are up almost over 1% for the financial services sector, and the private banks about 0.75% higher in trade. Let's also look at which are the other key contributors to the Nifty gain. So HDFC Bank is definitely the top contributor, 85 odd points to the Nifty. Reliance is contributing about 8 odd points, but it's also Kotak Mahindra Bank that's coming back. Remember, yesterday there was this entire news flow around Adani Hindenburg saga that also dragged Kotak Mahindra Bank, but the stock is up and contributing positively to the stock markets today. And ITC also coming back in flavor. Sectorally, barring the IT space, which was the top performer yesterday and is now seeing some profits being taken off, it's flattish with the negative bias. Rest of the sectors, they're all up and about in trade, of course led by the banking names. Metals follow, as about 0.5% of an increase can be seen on that one. FMCG, broader markets, consumer durables and autos seem to be in the thick of action. Even in the PSU index, there's a 0.5% increase. So beyond the REC and PFC world, you can also see NMDC, Steel Authority, LIC, NHPC, some such stocks also moving in trade. Metal space for you, Mitesh ji, how are you looking at stocks like Hindalco pulling up in trade, JSW Steel and the entire metal pack including NMDC and Steel Authority?
Okay, metal packs looks interesting, and out of these stocks, what is looking promising is Hindalco. Above 702 stock is going to give you a breakout, so one should buy above 702 with a stop of 690 for an intraday potential target of 710, 715.
Okay, got that. Let's also look at stocks like JSW Infra. They've signed a pact to build cargo berth at Tuticorin port. Let's see how that news is getting reacted as far as JSW Infra stock is concerned. Beyond this, we will also look at some other stocks. So, half odd percent increase for JSW Infra. Let's also look at Motilal Oswal Financial Services. The company has informed the exchanges that SEBI has issued an administrative warning to the company, and SEBI has cautioned them on the process of uploading unique client code data on MCX. The stock is still holding up about 2 odd percent. Persistent Systems, let's look at that one. The company's arm has acquired a US-based Tarvish Associates for $20.7 million. Let's see how that one is reacting. Persistent Systems within the IT pack. the news is positive. Have a flattish trade on this one. Yes Bank, let's look at that stock. The company came out with its advances update and deposits update, both of which have actually shown some kind of an improvement. Let's see how Yes Bank is reacting. 1% higher for that one as well. So those are some of the stocks that are buzzing. Even in the broader market space, there are many stocks that are actually in high single digit spaces today. Moil is up within the metals pack again, 7% higher. You have KC International, of course, and that auto win, that's 7% up in trade. You have GM Breweries that is continuing its move after yesterday and day before yesterday's move, right ahead of the earnings. Remember, yesterday we had discussed this stock. You have MIC Electronics, a lot of these electronic names, Kernex Microsystems, they're all also up and about. Anything else, Shal, that catches your fancy?
Yes, actually, it's Federal Bank. Let's get Gaurang into the conversation. It sparked a rally, this enthusiasm for banks. Federal Bank at 180, Gaurang. I'm sure you have a coverage as far as this particular stock is concerned. And of course, let me mark Nifty Bank again. 52,808. Remember, the key is 52,500. If it remains below, if it remains above 52,500 for 15 minutes, then you will see a very sharp short covering continuing and a record high on Bank Nifty. Gaurang, your view on Federal Bank?
So, Shail, definitely we have a coverage and we are positive on Federal Bank, and I think it was the commentary as far as the outlook of deposits and CASA number that the bank put out, which has excited the stock. Not only that, Shell, I think the last fortnight we have heard a lot of banks, whether it is public or private or NBFCs, are hitting the streets to garner funds. And these are not small amounts, these are huge amounts. You can very well draw down a picture in terms of the credit demand growth that these banks and financial institutions expect to come through. And along with that, you have a strong commentary in terms of business outlook and the advanced and deposit numbers, which augurs extremely well for the entire financial sector, whether it is public sector bank, private sector bank, or whether they are strong NBFCs. And I have always maintained one view, Shell, that if you have a decent portfolio in terms of your investment, then a decent amount or a decent percentage of that portfolio should be invested in banking and finance. And this is what my view is, because I believe banking and finance is going to stay here for a pretty long period of time.
Fair point. And the top gainer in the F&O space is Federal Bank. Mitesh, coming to you very quickly, what are the charts of Federal Bank telling you? Is this a move that is likely to continue?
Yes, Sanji. The caveat is 185 level, so I will not touch the stock till the stock is trading above 185. Out of once the stock start trading above 185, it has a potential to reach 190 and cross 200 as well. So yeah, it's a conditional buy above 185 with a stop of 178 for the potential target of 190 and 200 at least in 1 or 2 days.
Okay. What we'll do, ladies and gentlemen, is now focus on stocks that are hitting all-time highs. As far as the F&O space is concerned, we've discussed HDFC Bank and Federal Bank. You have another record high coming in on Glenmark Pharma, 1.7% higher. And of course, Dixon Technologies. A very quick look into NSE 500. The things are getting better and better as far as markets are concerned. Okay, Schneider, 966, 6% higher. Sakshi, it's the power space completely dominating trade. KEC, 6% higher. Power India, this is at 13,925, 4% higher. And stocks such as Happy Forge, stocks such as Trent, stocks such as Craftsman are at a record high. Very, very sharp move coming into Bank Nifty. I'd just like to get Mitesh into this conversation. First 10 odd minutes, the market has absorbed what HDFC Bank can do. And now on weekly expiry day, you have a very, very sharp breakout coming. 52,870. Mitesh ji, your outlook on Nifty Bank today, weekly expiry and shorts getting squeezed.
Exactly. I think in the second half, participation will come from ICICI and Axis as well, coupled with IndusInd as well, because that is on the first 10 or 12 minutes of a chart, it's looking promising. So as far as Bank Nifty is concerned, now 52,000 is a base LG. And today, I think 53,000, 53,300 is possibly achievable. Probably the index will move into a four digit. That is our view. So yes, with an intraday perspective, you can go long in Bank Nifty with a stop of 5,000, 52,500 for the intraday target of 53,000, 53,300.
Got that. Let's discuss the power space in greater detail, and we'll ask both Gaurang ji as well as Mitesh to really comment on those spaces. IEX is something that's buzzing. You also have stocks like PFC and REC, which we've already discussed. Mitesh, how about the entire power space and what catches your attention within the power space?
Within the power space, what catches my attention is Tata Power. I think the stock is really not in the favor right now, but sooner than later, stock will enter into a new trading range and hit a new highs. So probably we are looking at close to 480 to 500 kind of levels. So we have recommended these stocks as a disclaimer to our clients with a stop of 410 for the potential target of 480, 500 in the next 1 to 3 months. So the big rally, technically, where we are spotting is into Tata Power.
Okay, Tata Power. Gaurangji, how about the entire power space beyond PFC and REC that we have discussed? Where exactly would you still be confident of adding more positions?
Well, across the vertical, because my sense is that not only power generation, but power transmission and distribution and power equipments will do extremely well. And I'll give you one case of point. I think KEC International was in news yesterday or day before yesterday, and today again they have secured 1,000 crore plus order for their T&D and cables business, if I'm not mistaken. So you have KEC International in terms of power equipment manufacturing company. In terms of power distribution and transmission, a company which has also gone into planning to go into clean and green energy production is Power Grid. And then you have names like NTPC, CESC, and Tata Power. So this is the broad universe in the power generation, transmission, and distribution that we are extremely positive. And Sakshi, one thing, I think power equipment companies are going to do extremely, extremely well going forward.
Okay. We'll keep an eye out on the power equipment makers also going forward now. Yes, Shail.
Yeah, Sakshi, continue, no issues.
Apart from the entire power space, even IREDA, let's look at that one. I think that's also opened with a record high move. And we are consistently seeing a fresh bout of momentum within IREDA. 215 now, about 5% higher. It's at the high point of the day. Mitesh, would you like to comment on this one?
About 205, yes, the stock has given a breakout. So possibly IDA will be looking at a target of 245 to 265 in near future. Apart from that, there is a very strong volume which is also buzzing. So there is a comfort from that side, and delivery based volume is also picking up. So yes, IDA definitely a potential buy, and one should look for 240, 250 kind of a target in next 1 week.
Fair point. I'd just like to get the chart of KEC International back on the screen. This is a stock, ladies and gentlemen, that Gaurang had suggested around 750 rupee levels. This was about 3-4 weeks ago, and intraday it had gone up to 781. I remember very, very clearly. Now at 950. Because this is such an under-researched and under-owned and underappreciated stock, let's pay a little more attention on this one. Gaurang, where is KEC headed, and what are the 2 or 3 drivers you believe are responsible for this sharp uptick that we see on KEC, not only today but over the last 3 or 4 weeks?
They've got 4 different business verticals here, which are core to the balance sheet and the business that they do. One is, of course, transmission distribution. Other one is railway related. Third one is cap goods engineering, and the fourth one is of course, cables and wires. Uh, and they are very closely associated with Indian Railways also. They do a substantial amount of job work for Indian Railways Shell. And all the four order books, if you go to see the business verticals that they are into, uh, they are very, very strong, very, very healthy order book. And regularly, every 2, 3 months, you get a news item that KC has secured 500 crore or 1,000 crore order for its one of the verticals that it is into. If you ask me in terms of the targets, in terms of futuristic earning, if I have to give you an kind of an approximate earnings percentage and reflect it onto the stock price, then I think it is heading towards 1150, 1200. These are all subject to the futuristic earnings that are likely to come through and our estimates which we have in place. If the numbers go otherwise, then these targets would definitely get revised accordingly, Share.
Fair point. A revenue of about 23,000 crores as far as the trailing 12, a revenue of about 19,900 crores on a trailing 12-month basis, a very sharp profit, 346 crores, and a market capitalization of just 23,000 crore rupees. Ladies and gentlemen, keep KEC on your radar. You may not buy it, but just look at it from a point of view of a sector which is doing phenomenally well. And here is a stock that has not been appreciated as much in the market as it has been for the rest of the sector. Keep an eye out on KEC. Promoter ownership is about 52%, and this is a stock that has created a decent amount of long-term wealth when it comes to shareholders who have stuck around. EBIT margin has improved on an average 7.71% over the last 3 years. Net margin has shown an uptick. Return on equity and return on capital are respectively 12.2 and 17.6% as an average over the last 3 years. Sakshi.
All right, we'll also focus on several other pockets that are buzzing in trade. Remember, we've been discussing stocks like Hitachi Energy. They have been buzzing in trade. Schneider Electric, Timken India. These are the stocks that are coming back in flavor. 3.5% up move for Timken India also in a strong move in trade today. Mitesh ji, this entire auto ancillary pack space, are you looking at keenly? And where exactly are you keeping your focus here, sir?
See, basically in auto ancillary, what is looking promising on chart is all the MNC. We are talking about Honeywell, we are talking about Bosch, we are talking about SKF. So the entire MNC pack is looking technically very interesting within the entire auto ancillary space. And within this, I think Honeywell is looking very promising to us. With a stop of 55,000, one should go long into the stock. Sooner than later, the stock will close or cross 60,000, 65,000 mark.
Okay, got that. The entire space seems to be a buzz. There are more names that are getting added onto the list now. Even Banco Products, Tirupati Forge, Setco Automotive, Hilton Milton Metals, Autoline Industries. These are the stocks that are coming back in focus within the auto ancillary pack. And of course, the frontline names are a buzz. About 0.5% increase can be seen across the board on a lot of these stocks from Bajaj Auto, Eicher Motors, TVS Motors. These are the stocks that are still holding up. Let's get Gaurang sir into the conversation. Gaurang ji, after the recent numbers of auto sales that we have seen, it's the two-wheeler space that probably showed a little more promise than PVs and CVs. How are you going to be approaching the entire auto pack now?
First of all, Sakshi, I will not take month-on-month sales numbers uh, as a decision maker as far as long-term investment is concerned, because my sense is that 6 monthly or yearly numbers is something that you need to see, not even quarterly. Forget about month-on-months, because they may deceive you and may possibly, coax you into taking a decision which you might regret going forward from here on. So month-on-month numbers is something that doesn't excite me at all. Long term remain extremely positive. Hyundai coming into India and setting shop is one thing, but Hyundai coming and wanting to list itself in the Indian stock exchange is a big thing. And that's what likely to happen in the near future. Government's policies are extremely encouraging towards the auto sector, not only auto manufacturing companies, but also for auto ancillary tire companies as well as battery manufacturing companies. You have a whole host of new launches that are going to come through. Along with that, you're going to have a whole host of new avatars of existing launches that the companies have already made. And you have a robust market in terms of customer base as well as export market. Now, if I have to put all this in perspective, I don't see any reason why you should stay away from the auto sector, auto ancillary, tire manufacturing companies, or battery manufacturing companies. One thing that I would like to highlight over here in terms of overhang uh, is the missing of the dark clouds in terms of rain god's blessings. That is something that is a little bit of concern, Sakshi. Had it been otherwise, then I think the semi-urban and rural market in India would be extremely supportive for the two-wheeler as well as entry-level four-wheeler market.
Right. Gaurang, we'd like to get a confirmed presence in Delhi on the day Hyundai lists on Indian markets. This is a public invite that I'm sending to you and Mitesh ji to be in our Delhi studios on the day Hyundai is going to get listed on the markets. It will take some time, but it will happen. The best things happen when you wait for them, and Hyundai is something I look forward to. I remember Maruti at 125 rupees. It's at 10,800 today, and we will also look at Hyundai's listing. Luck favors the brave, and in the case of markets, luck extremely favors those who look at the long-term picture. Ladies and gentlemen, we just saw Bank Nifty move for a whisker of a time above 53,000. Very, very sharp short covering is happening on the weekly expiry day of the Bank Nifty, and it's led by a fabulous rally that we see across the board. Record highs on HDFC Bank, still 2.5% higher, 1774. Record highs on Federal Bank, 3.6% higher, and across the board, ICICI Bank 1.3% higher, 1206. Axis Bank 1.7% higher, Kotak 1% higher, SBI 0.5% higher, 830. So 53,117 is the record high of the Bank Nifty. Most likely it is going to be taken out. Very, very strong show today in the power space. Havells, Sakshi, we haven't marked Havells for a long time. It's not only a power play in terms of the business that it does, but a nice kick in for air conditioners, a nice kick in for brown goods that the company has started manufacturing. The deep summer that we've seen over the last 2-3 months in North India has kicked up sales of Havells, Blue Star and Voltas. Coming to you, Mitesh ji, any view that you would hold on Havells at about 1848, 1.7% higher?
Sanji, the stock is into the decent correction. It has formed its all-time high at 1986.55 for the week ended 7th of June 2024. And post that, the stock is into the consolidation zone. So I think, yes, this is a good time in the consolidation to accumulate the stock. Now, the caveat here is that once the stock trade above 1873, that is the current week's high, the stock will gather a steam and then probably will head much higher. So yes, definitely at the current level, I would like to buy the stock.
Oh, fair point. And Sakshi, the power twins, PFC and REC, there is absolutely no stopping them. 4% higher on 5.2% higher on PFC futures. This is a short covering that's happening. And again, REC, 0.3% higher in open interest and 4.2% higher on uptick. That research report doing wonders for the stock. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have Nifty Bank above 53,000. You'll see a record high today. 53,117 will be taken out. Sakshi, what's on your plate?
I wanted to discuss the entire paper and packaging theme that we've just started to watch from about 1 or 2 days odd, and that space again seems to be a buzz. Yesterday it was JK paper that was rallying sharply. Today it's Astron paper, Malu paper, Imami paper, all of these paper stocks that are buzzing in action. Within the packaging space there is again some move coming back. So you have TCPL packaging, Uflex, all of these stocks, Polyplex also buzzing in trade. Mitesh ji, anything that looks promising to you within this space?
Yeah, so Sakshi, first of all, disclaimer, Sheshasai paper is looking very extremely bullish to us on the charts, and we have recommended to this to our clients. So they might have a direct or indirect position into this. I don't have any position into the stock. The stock has rebounded quite sharply from 294 odd levels. And now the stock is trading comfortably above its immediate resistance levels of 350. So we are of the view that sooner than later, Sheshasai paper will test around 450 to 500 levels. So at the current level with a stop of 320, one can go long into the stock for a potential target of 400 to 450.
Okay, got that. Gaurang sir, would you have a view on the entire paper packaging space? Are you looking at this theme? Does it have legs?
Well, on a lighter note, Sakshi, I think paperless technology is a better way to approach the world. I know we don't have any coverage in this sector, sorry.
Okay, okay, wonderful. Let's again see what are the other buzzing areas right now. I think FMCG space is also buzzing now. Some of the names are coming back into fore. So stocks like Britannia, ITC, they are doing well in trade today. Nestle is also a buzz, about 0.7% higher for Nestle counter 2. We're also looking at, there was some buzz about how the government could be really looking at changes within the tobacco space too. Mitesh ji, FMCG come tobacco space, anything that looks interesting to you at this time?
Two stocks which you have talked about. First is Britannia, that is looking very promising. Above 5,480, there is a strong breakout into the stock. So now the stock will be heading for 550 to 5,600. And second is a Colpal. If you look at the chart pattern of a Colpal as well, the stock is also looking promising at the current level. We are of the view that sooner than later, Colgate will also enter into a new trading range of 3,000 to 3,200. So with a stop of 2,810, one can go long for a potential target of 3,000, 3,050.
Okay. Got
9:44, ladies and gentlemen. We are seeing a strong move coming in on the Bank Nifty, 53,065 for you, 900 points higher. You'll see a 4-digit rally on Nifty Bank today. Remember, it's the weekly expiry. The index itself was down 1% before trade started in the last 5 sessions. All those shots have been extinguished as far as markets are concerned. I wish I could show you how the bears on the Bank Nifty are being taken for the cleaners. It's a massive short covering that we see in the money calls of 52,300, especially 52,500. All bears are vacating this, and the next resistance, which is a sensible one, is at 53,700, 53,800. That's far away. Even 53,500 is a strong resistance, but so far it's been a great day. And of course, another 1 or 2 seconds, 1 or 2 minutes, you'll see a record high on Nifty Bank. Let us see whether that record high maintains or not. Normally what happens is that you hit a record high and then you have a massive selling pressure that comes in, but nevertheless the first half an hour of trade belongs to the bulls. Record high now 53,131 on the Nifty Bank, 966 points higher. Let's take a detour in the broader markets. We haven't done that today. Let's look at the advanced decline ratios. 624 stocks in the green compared with 600 in the red. We track 19 indices for you, ladies and gentlemen. 18 are in the green. It's a blowout as far as bulls are concerned. Nifty Financial Services Index, which had its weekly expiry yesterday, begins a strong momentum, 1.8% higher, 23,938. Bank Nifty is the next gainer, 1.85% higher. PSU Bank is up 0.8%. Let's look at the Nifty small cap index, 0.5% higher. Out of 100 stocks, 67 are in the green. The Nifty mid cap index is 0.5% higher. Out of 100 stocks, 74 are in the green. and the Nifty 500. Let's look at this one. 22,820, 0.6% higher. Out of 500 stocks, 350 are in the red. Strong move coming in across the board, Sakshi. What are you watching?
This is stock Moisture Technologies. I wanted to look at that stock. It has hit a 5% uptick in trade today. I think it's at an upper circuit again, and this stock has been on a wild run over the last 1 week. It's a semiconductor making stock, and there are continuous news flows around the big tie-ups that it is making, contracts that it is getting as well. Any view on Moisture Technologies would you have, Mitesh? The stock is up over 100% in just 1 month odd. How would you really look at this stock now?
See, and the biggest thing about such up move is that it should be backed by a proper delivery based volume, which is I think missing. Majority of the contribution is coming from an intraday side. So we would like to avoid the stock at the current level, because from the risk reward perspective, there are other stocks which are available. And second thing, when the stock run up so high, advisable to book the profit, because we always have an opportunity in the market.
Got that. Avoid for now. In the momentum, in case you have it, then you should be looking at booking out as well after the recent run up too. Let's again look at some other pockets. Pharma space specifically is also a buzz with all the action. You have Glenmark Pharma that's buzzing within the F&O space. You have Zydus Life that's coming back into steam after a long haul. You have Granules that's a buzz in trade as well. What looks positive to you within the pharma pack, Mitesh?
Two stocks, undoubtedly. First is Sun Pharma. I think Sun Pharma is now heading for a new trajectory. It's a trend reversal both on hourly and daily chart. And we are of the view that sooner than later, stock will enter into a new trading range. So with a stop of 1480, one should go long into Sun Pharma for a potential target of 1550 and 1580. Second stock, which is looking Sakshi very promising on the chart, is a Lupin. So even if you look at this chart of a Lupin, there is a higher bottom formation. And now the stock is on the verge of a very strong breakout. So Lupin is looking interesting at the current level. We are of the view that from the current level, there are possibilities for the stock to post at least 5 to 7% of a gain. So Lupin definitely current level is a very strong buy.
Okay, got that. So that's the buzz entirely in the pharma pack. Let's again look at some other stocks. Dixon Technologies, there is no stopping. Again, there is a 2% uptick right now, 12,950. It's above, it's a buzz in the F&O action. Let's get Mitesh to understand, help us understand EMS space, the electronic manufacturing space. Are you looking at this space very, very keenly, including Dixon? You know, it was Keynes before that, and the entire space seems to having added some more names to the list now. How are you approaching this space and your top stocks?
Yeah, again, technically the top stock is Dixon, and now it is heading for 15,000. But as I said again, Sakshi, very important to understand that one should be having a very strict stop loss discipline at the current level, because these stocks are running so fast and so furious that before you think about taking a trade, the stock will hit either a target or a stop loss because of a lot of participation from the algo side. So I think Dixon Technology is a buy at the current level with a stop of 11,500 for the first target of 15,000.
Fair point, ladies and gentlemen. It's a breakout that's happening on the Nifty Bank. It is now at a very crucial level. 53,162 is a very strong second resistance intraday, which the Bank Nifty has to negotiate. Sensex has also climbed above 80,000. So it's a party on the Lal Street, Sakshi, and let's hope it continues very strongly. Mitesh ji, at this point of time, 950. Would you offer us a very, a very thought out view on where you think Nifty would be? We are already at the cusp of 24,300.
See, now technically, Shailji, Nifty is eyeing at close to 24,500. So that move will come today or tomorrow, anytime soon. And I think the participation for that will be two stocks technically. First is Reliance, second is ITC. I think Reliance will resume its uptrend and now heading for 3,400, 3,500. And ITC is also looking for a very strong upside. So I think 24,500 is achievable in next 1 or 2 days. And as Shailji, we have spoken about the 4-digit gain. Now the index is trading, Bank Nifty is trading with a gain of 4 digit, that is 1,003 points up as far as the spot Nifty is concerned. And we are trading at 53,180. As you remember, before few days, we have given a target of 54,000, 55,000. So probably the PSU bank, which is not participated, could participate and help us to hit that level.
Okay.
Okay, that's coming in. And Sakshi, the other stock that's moving dramatically higher will now be Axis Bank. Let's take a view from Mitesh ji on this particular counter, which is now at 1280, up almost 2% in futures. Strong transactions happening there as well. Mitesh ji, Axis Bank.
Sir, at half an hour chart, the 30 minutes chart, the stock has given a very strong breakout, Axis Bank, and above 1260. So now for an intraday, the stock is heading for 1320 kind of a level in today's trade. Again, a 40% upside, 40 rupees of an upside from the current level cannot be ruled out in Axis Bank today with a stop of 1250. So yes, actually, Axis Bank is a buy as of now.
Okay, historic day at that, because the Sensex has claimed that 80,000 milestone in trade today, and let's hope that this sustains. But Mitesh ji, I think all eyes will now be on when will Sensex hit that 1 lakh mark. What do your technical charts really suggest to us? The rally so far has been stupendous, it's been fast, but all those who have stayed out may now want to take a fresh entry at 80,000, thinking that at least 1 लाख भी कभी आएगा तो मैं उसके लिए अब बाजार में निवेश करता हूँ. उनके लिए आप क्या कहेंगे?
नहीं, डेफिनेटली 1 लाख भी आएगा साक्षी जी, और 1,50,000 भी आएगा. सेंसेक्स ही एक इंडेक्स एक ऐसी चीज है जो हमेशा ऊपर ही जाएगी, irrespective of the stocks. Your stocks might go into the consolidation, but your index will always gonna go up, up and up. So yes, ऐसा भी टाइम आएगा जब हम BTTV पे 1 लाख के टी शर्ट पहन के बैठे होंगे. We are celebrating the Sensex hitting 1 lakh for sure. And there are stocks which are, as of now, like the big boy Reliance has not started, ITC has not started, that entire FMCG has not started, the PSU has not started. So there is a fair amount of sectors and stocks available even at 80,000 to ensure that you will make money when the index will hit 1 lakh.
Absolutely. So Sensex, Nifty, Nifty Bank. You can also see fresh highs coming in across the board, viewers, and there is a very, very strong surge on the back of banks that this rally is coming in. You can see the Nifty Bank is now a 2% uptick that can be seen on this one. HDFC Bank, Axis Bank, ICICI Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank, at least 4 of these banking counters are the top 4 movers on the Nifty today, and these are the ones that are also contributing heavily to the Nifty gains. Apart from this, it's also Reliance Industries, ITC, Bharti Airtel. Those are the other stocks that are contributing to meaningful gains on the Nifty and the Sensex as well. A very, very strong surge. तो अब ये बताइए Mitesh जी, journey from 80,000 to 1 lakh, where will the outperformance come in now?
देखिए, आउट परफॉर्मेंस आएगा विद इन द एंटायर निफ्टी स्पेस में से रिलायंस, स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया, HDFC बैंक अनडाउटेडली और ITC. ये हमें लग रहा है कि 4 प्रमुख जो है वो हॉर्सेस होंगे जो मार्केट को 1 लाख तक ले जाएंगे. और साक्षी, सबसे इंटरेस्टिंग चीज ये है कि एक्सपेक्ट ऑलवेज द अनएक्सपेक्टेड. सो आज बहुत ही बज हुआ था HDFC बैंक में, इतना परसेंट खुलेगा X और Y और Z, but you look at the performance. But the point is that HDFC Bank has set a tone for bank. That is the key line, underlining. तो मेरे हिसाब से रिलायंस जो उसका आउट परफॉर्मेंस है वही एक टोन सेट करेगा इंडेक्स को 1 लाख ले जाने के लिए. तो ये 4 स्टॉक्स के ऊपर हमारी बेसिकली फोकस है.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've had a great rally from 9:15 to 956. Now is the time to be very cautious. We've seen record highs on Sensex, we've seen record highs on Bank Nifty, we've seen record highs on Nifty as well. It's the weekly expiry of the Nifty, one must not forget that. It essentially means that all these sharp profits that have come so far sensibly need to be booked if you've taken the early morning trade on the Nifty Bank on the long side. Be cautious now. If the Nifty slips below, Nifty Bank slips below 52,500, then a huge round of selling pressure will come. So be very, very, very careful on the long side. The long trade is done. We've hit a fresh high, and ideally for traders who've done one part of the rally, the day is over. Enjoy the money and relax. But a great move coming into the entire power space. Sakshi, cable stocks, Polycab, RR Cabel, and of course KEI International, all of them are also up in trade. This is the quasi power theme that is showing signs, and profit booking is creeping in. I am repeatedly telling you to be very careful on the long side. Reliance is down 0.7%, 20 rupees lower at 3109. It seems that HDFC Bank will be used by smart operators and traders to show that the Nifty is in the green, and then there will be a very, very strong bout of profit booking coming into the market. Just be very, very careful on the long side. Sakshi.
All right, 2 minutes to wind up this show. Thank you so much, Mitesh, for being with us on this very special edition. And yet again, congratulations to you for being witness to this historic day again. And we will continue to celebrate more milestones, like you said, even going forward with you on our Market Today editions going forward from here. And viewers, of course, it's a day to celebrate. And finally, those underperformers are coming back, taking the front row. The hope is that they sustain this up move and they continue to ensure that the markets rally from here on, and they continue to hold up at least on these levels at this point in time. Banking all the way. Apart from this, it's pharma, PSU banks, FMCG, consumer durables also participating now, and the power space, the power financiers, they are the ones that are buzzing very, very sharply now, up 5% each. So several points to celebrate as we continue to track the markets for you through the course of the day. 155 points higher on the Nifty. We'll wind up this special morning edition for you. Goodbye from me and Shail on this point in time, but do stay tuned as action will continue on the other side. There are IPO coverages that will happen, so stay tuned for that. Daily calls will address all your stock queries on a day when markets have hit record high at 12 noon, so don't forget to tune in for that one. And both of us will be back on the Market Today afternoon show as well at 2:30 p.m. Stay tuned.